Our journey begins in 1947, a pivotal year in the annals of South Asian history. This was the year when the mighty British Empire, after ruling over the Indian subcontinent for almost 2 centuries, decided to pack up and leave. But they left behind a legacy that was to define the region for years to come: the partition of British India into 2 separate nations, India and Pakistan. This partition was primarily based on religious lines, the predominantly Hindu regions forming India, and the Muslim-majority areas becoming Pakistan. The partition of British India into 2 independent nations, India and Pakistan, birthed a conflict that continues to this day. The first manifestation of this disagreement was the First Kashmir War, which began in 1947 and extended into 1948. The bone of contention was the princely state of Kashmir, with both nations laying claim to it. While the war ended with a United Nations-mediated ceasefire, the issue of Kashmir remained unresolved, setting the stage for future conflicts. Fast forward to 1965. The simmering tensions over Kashmir once again led to a full-blown war between India and Pakistan. This war, which lasted for 17 days, was characterized by its large-scale tank battles and aerial dogfights, marking a shift from the guerrilla warfare tactics seen in the previous conflict. The war ended with a United Nations-enforced ceasefire and the subsequent Tashkent Declaration. However, the underlying issue of Kashmir remained unresolved. The 1971 war stands apart in the annals of Indo-Pak history. It was not just about territorial claims, but a humanitarian crisis. Pakistan's brutal crackdown on Bengali nationalists in East Pakistan led to a massive refugee crisis and ultimately, India's intervention. This war resulted in the creation of a new nation, Bangladesh, and a significant defeat for Pakistan, further straining relations between the 2 nations. The last major conflict was the Kargil War of 1999, a limited yet intense war that took place in the Kargil district of Kashmir. The war ended with India regaining control of all territories previously held by Pakistani infiltrators. In between these wars, there have been constant military standoffs and political tensions, each incident adding another layer of complexity to the bitter relationship between these 2 nations. The echoes of these wars continue to reverberate in the relations between India and Pakistan, shaping their geopolitical strategies and domestic politics. The scars of the past wars have not yet healed. Today, the India-Pakistan conflict is a complex tapestry woven with threads of ongoing tensions, international diplomacy, and the ominous nuclear factor. The echoes of past battles reverberate in the present, casting long shadows over the relations between these 2 nations. The air is thick with tension, as each country stands its ground, their respective borders a simmering line of disagreement. Yet amidst this tension, the world has not turned a blind eye. International diplomacy has stepped in, attempting to mediate and diffuse this volatile situation. The United Nations, among others, has played a significant role in trying to bring about a peaceful resolution. Yet, the nuclear factor looms over all of this like a dark cloud. Both nations, armed with nuclear weapons, add an element of fear and uncertainty to the conflict. It's a precarious balance, a delicate dance of power and restraint. As the world watches, India and Pakistan tread a delicate path of peace and conflict, their history a shadow that looms over their present and future. In the last few minutes, we have journeyed through a tumultuous history. We've traced back to the roots of the conflict between India and Pakistan, exploring the historical context that sowed the seeds of discord. We've seen how these tensions escalated into wars, causing significant loss and devastation. In our exploration, we navigated the twists and turns of these wars, each event unfolding with its own narrative and impact. We also delved into the present scenario, a complex tapestry of political, social, and territorial issues that continue to fuel this long-standing dispute. It's a history marked by strife, but also resilience. It's a story of 2 nations intertwined by a shared past, yet divided by differing perspectives. As we conclude this journey, it's important to remember that while history cannot be changed, it can be learned from. A lesson that India and Pakistan, and indeed the world, continues to grapple with.